Good morning, students. I, Anu Dhariwal, welcome you all to the class. Children, today we are going to start civics. The first chapter that we are taking is the Indian Constitution from your NCERT textbook, Social and Political Life, Part 3. So let us begin. Before reading the Indian Constitution, children, you need to understand what is Constitution. A constitution is a set of rules that guides how a country, state or other political organization works. So what is a constitution? It is a set of rules that guides how a country, state or other political organization works. That means whatever the work goes on in our country, the rules and regulation all are constituted in the constitution. The constitution may tell what the branches of the government are, what powers they have and how they work. So through the constitution we know what are the branches of the government, what the powers they have and how do these branches work. It may also state the rights of citizens. The Constitution of India is the longest written constitution in the world. Can you imagine, children? The longest written constitution of the world is the Indian Constitution. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar is known as the father of Indian Constitution. It is the supreme law of the land. It came into effect on 26 January 1950. That means all the rules and regulations are to be followed according to our constitution. Our constitution is based on the principles of democracy, socialism and secularism. Now what do these three terms mean on which our constitution is based? Let us learn. Democracy. The word democracy most often refers to a form of government in which people choose leaders by voting. So what is democracy? Where the people of a country choose their leaders or the form of the government they want through voting. Socialism. Socialism means socializing the means of production, distribution and exchange for the purpose of social benefit of the society. That means whatever the companies, private companies, government companies or factories that are running in the country, distribution and production and exchange will be done. The products that are made, the profit that is earned, everything will be for the purpose of social benefit of the society. That means our society should benefit from all of these. Secularism. Secularism refers to the separation of religion from the state. It means that the state should not discriminate among its citizens on the basis of religion. So, what is secularism, children? That means the state government should not discriminate among its citizens on the basis of religion, that he is a Hindu or he is a Muslim and there should be different rules for them. No. All religions are equal and all religions should be given all the privileges. That is what secularism is, where all the religion exist on the same basis. Now, why does a country need a constitution, children? Why do we need a constitution? A constitution lays out certain ideas that form the basis of the kind of country that we as citizens aspire to live in. The kind of society we want to live in. It is the people of India. It is we that decide what kind of government, what kind of country we want to live in. It tells us about the fundamental nature of our society. It helps serve as a set of rules and principles that all persons in a country can agree upon as the basis of the way in which they want the country to be governed. So these constitution give us a set of rules and principles that we as people want in our country, that the people should not be discriminated on the basis of anything. There should be same rules for all the citizens of the country. This includes the type of government and also an agreement on certain ideas that they all believe the country should uphold. When Nepal was a monarchy, it reflected the final authority of the king. What is a monarchy, children? Monarchy is a country where the country is ruled by the king. So monarchy is that form of government where the country is ruled by the king. So when Nepal was a monarchy, it reflected the final authority of the king. So whose decision were final? The king's decision were the final. After transition of Nepal into a democracy, it started the process of writing a new constitution for the country. So when Nepal was converted into a democracy, a new constitution was written. In our democracy, leaders exercise their power responsibly on the behalf of the people. It defines country's political system. So what happens in a democracy? The leaders, they use their powers responsibly on the behalf of the people. That means the leader whom we are choosing, he is representing us. The powers that he'll be using those powers for us, for our benefit. In democratic societies, the constitution lays down the rules that guard against the misuse of authority by our political leaders. So children, in democratic countries, the constitution also gives us certain rules through which prevent the misuse of authority, so that the political leaders who have the power cannot use their or cannot misuse their power. It lays certain important guidelines that govern decision making process. So the decision making process for the country is all done through the constitution. A constitution plays an important function in a democracy to ensure that a dominant group does not use its power against any person, group, organization, etc. So children, constitution also makes sure that the dominant group means the group who has the power, the extreme power to write a rule, to change a rule, anything. Dominant groups are the people with most of the power. So constitution also ensures that these people, these dominant groups, do not use its power against any person, group, organization, etc. Constitution prevents tyranny or domination by the majority of a minority. Now what is tyranny? Tyranny means cruel or unreasonable. That means no majority of the people, those who have majority, they cannot rule over minority or they cannot dominate the minority. The Indian Constitution guarantees the right to equality to all citizens and says that no citizen can be discriminated on the basis of religion, caste, gender, race, etc. So the Indian Constitution also gives us a right to equality. That means no one can be discriminated on the basis of their religion, caste, gender, whether he is a male or a female, whether he belongs to a high caste or a low caste, whether he belongs to a religion, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christians, anyone. So no one can be discriminated on the basis of these things. This is it for today, children. We'll see you in the next class. Till then, take care, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.